Hello, my name is Abby Bartelt, and this is my ESOL interview for the ESOL teacher in my school. There is just one ESOL teacher for about 3 schools near where my school is located because the English language learner population is pretty low. I found out from her that upon registration, students complete a home survey. And if another language is marked, then the ESOL teacher will screen them with what is called a WIDA screener. And that will help identify students who need ESOL language support services. So that is the first step. There is just one ESOL teacher in our school, and like I said, she serves a couple schools in our district, so she spends 2 days with us a week. She has been in the classroom for 12 years and 3 years as an ESOL teacher. Right now, there are just 3 kids who qualify for ESOL, and they are in kindergarten through 2nd grade. There are a few kids in the upper grades who were qualified and now have tested out on the access test. So there are 2 in the older grades that she monitors. So she just checks in twice a year with them. And all of those students who qualify are Hispanic and their native language is Spanish. As I was talking to the ESOL teacher, she used several acronyms, and a few of those were, one was ACCESS that I wasn't familiar with, which stands for Assessing Comprehension and Communication in English State to State for English Language Learners. And this test helps measure gains and determine what is needed to help the student. She also used WIDA, World Class Instructional Design and Assessment, which is the test they do initially to determine if they qualify for ESOL. And of course, there's ESOL, English for Speakers of Other Languages, ESL, English as a Second Language, ELL and EL, English Language Learner, and EL that were used as well. So, like I said, the access test is used to measure gains and to determine what else is needed for the student's success. And that is the access test. So she will take data from that test to determine what language support is needed for that student. In kindergarten through 1st grade, she pulls out the students and works with them one-on-one, direct instruction. In 2nd grade, it's a little different. She pushes in and just supports the student in his or her classroom. ESOL teachers teach English learners in our school just case by case. Again, that's determined by the tests that are taken and the data that is received. There are possible accommodations that can be given for English learners, such as the setting where information is given, how it is presented, their response to information, how their scheduling works, and ESOL teachers always have the option of pulling students out of the mainstream classroom if needed for direct instruction. Mainstream teachers will use visuals, pointing, labeling, repeated instructions, visual instructions, one-on-one instruction, and both the ESOL teacher and mainstream teacher will collaborate to determine which instruction will be most beneficial for their student. The same standards are expected for English learners that are for any other student. So our students are required to meet the standards of Georgia Standards of Excellence, as well as the language of social interaction, the language of science, the language of mathematics, the language of reading, the language of social studies. I also looked up English language proficiency standards for kindergarten, since that's what I teach. And the first standard says an ELL can construct meaning from oral presentations and literary and informational text through grade appropriate listening, reading, and viewing. So for example, a level 1 would be they can do this with prompting and support, including context and visual aids. Use a very limited set of strategies to identify a few key words in their read-alouds and oral presentations. On the flip side, a level 5 would be they can do this with prompting and support, include context and visual aids, use a wide range of strategies to identify main topics, answer questions about key details, retell familiar stories. Each of these levels include context and visual aids, which just shows how important that is as we're teaching ELs. Mainstream teachers and ESOL teachers collaborate all the time in order to ensure the success of their students. They will conference, they will meet with parents, email back and forth. We use Planbook at my school to share plans. And our ESOL teacher said for those schools that have a larger population of English learners, she will have after-school meetings to help teachers know exactly what they can be doing to help their English learners. Students can qualify to exit ESOL Direct Language Support by passing the access test, and the score needs to be a 4.3 or higher composite score. And if they meet that, then they will just be on a monitored basis. So like I said, with those older students in 4th and 5th grade, they passed the access test with 4.3 or higher, and so now they are monitored twice a year. And monitored ELs are different from served ELs because served ELs will receive direct instruction. They will be pulled out or the teacher will push in, and they have goals. And monitored ELs are just checked on twice a year in the fall and spring, and the progress will be tracked by surveys, report cards, progress reports, and checking in with the teacher about their grades and how they're doing. That's all the information that I learned from my ESOL teacher. It was very helpful to learn that side of how that instruction works. I don't currently have any ELs, but it was very helpful to see how the ESOL teacher works within our school for one day when I will have an English learner. Thank you.